I think I've made one of the nicest phone chargers I've ever seen. It's made from solid walnut with brass accents and a calfskin leather charging pad. And it might not look like it, but I couldn't have made this without my 3D printer. And that's because it didn't start out like this. It came from this, which came from these, which came from a ton of frustrations and failures that I learned from the hard way. I've been 3D printing for over a decade, and 99% of what I 3D print are functional parts that solve specific problems. But this little functional piece is what directly led me to stepping outside of my comfort zone and making something just for fun that I think is interesting, like the new charger. How did this 3D printed plastic circle lead to a premium phone charger? I'll walk you through it. This is a gobo. I use it to shape light, like this window back here. So naturally, when I wanted something custom, I 3D printed one. These are usually made from really thin aluminum like this, and they sit inside of extremely hot light. So while this 3D printed one works, it won't hold up over time. And that made me realize that I had a 3D printer. So I only thought about fixing problems with a 3D printer. So maybe I just have to try something new. So now what is this new tool that can get the job done? I need something that can cut metal and hopefully is versatile enough to work with other materials. I needed it enclosed and really small, tiny enough to fit on the same workbench that I have 2 other 3D printers. So after a quick Google, the smallest enclosed CNC I could find was this. It's the Genmitsu Cubico CNC. Now, full transparency, after I found this, I reached out to them to see if they'd want to send one to the channel just for me to use and experiment with, and they said yes. But if you're looking for a review or an unboxing or a rundown of specs, I'll make that video, but this is not that. Okay, so remember when I told you that this journey came with a lot of failures and frustrations? Here you go. I made every mistake that someone new to CNCing can make, and honestly, I'm glad it was on something as inexpensive and easy to use as this Cubico CNC machine. Because if I used this on something really high-end, I would have done some damage. I did everything from drive my bit into the aluminum bed, scarring this unit forever, to ruining nearly every sheet of aluminum I had trying to get this simple job done. If you think 3D printing is slow, using an inexpensive hobby CNC on metals makes a 3D printer seem instantaneous. So I made this. It says SC for the sponsor of this video, the Scrappy Creative. Wait, that's me, so all I'll say is subscribe. And now that I actually made this, I feel comfortable with the machine, and I want to stop solving problems for a minute and just make something cool. So that in the future, I don't just think of a 3D printed solution for problems, but the best possible solution. This is where the charger comes in. So let's start with the design. Before knowing what I wanted to make, I had a few requirements that hopefully would help me stumble into something cool. So first off, it needs to serve a function outside of it just being a decor item. It also needs to look and feel premium because when we 3D print, there's a lot of this is cool for a 3D print versus this is an awesome thing I made. The third requirement is I wanted to use multiple materials to make this happen. Some from the CNC and others that aren't. So I really quickly landed on a wireless charging pad. While it's functional, it's also simple. To tick the boxes for it being premium and made from multiple materials, I took inspiration from an unlikely source. I want a statement piece, and one of my favorite statement pieces in my house is a piano that I found on Facebook Marketplace for less than the cost of the CNC machine. It's 100 years old, made from solid wood and metal. So taking inspiration from this, I wanted the charger to be made from solid wood and metal. Finally, to hide the MagSafe charger inside, I landed on a few options. I could 3D print a cover, and maybe that would work, but what I ended up landing on was keeping in line with the premium look and feel, and I had some really nice leather laying around. This is high quality calfskin leather. You can get a scrap piece that's good enough for this for a couple dollars. Now we're at a good place. The first step after designing was to print the design and make sure it works as intended. So I printed one to check to see if the pieces would work together and fit the MagSafe charger. And this is how a lot of people in manufacturing use 3D printing, to prototype, check things quickly. And it took about 2 hours to print one. But I liked the printed version so much, I made a few to test different color combinations. And this is where I realized I could just stop here and have a good enough product. It looks good, maybe not premium, but This would look good on a desk, and you can make a ton of these really easily and customize them quickly. I almost felt a little defeated at this point because I was asking myself, what if the CNCing just isn't worth it? But I still needed to prove that I could make something cool and fully push myself beyond this 3D printing box that I've put myself in for so long. First up was the brass ring, because after the aluminum gobo, I felt like I finally had a grasp on sheet metal. And it came out good. After some sanding and filing, this is what I was left with. Next up was the wood. First, I had to get the right thickness and then cut it down from there to get a workable piece to start from. This took several hours, but after that, it was a matter of another 4 hours watching it cut out the main housing and then going on to the finishing steps. So then I sanded the walnut piece and tested the fit of the MagSafe, puck, the brass ring, and the wood all together before moving on to making the leather piece. To do this, I needed 3D printing again. I made a cylinder to mold the leather around along with some fabric stiffener. And then I 3D printed a small ring to help the leather hold its form around the MagSafe puck. I actually used the heated chamber in the Core 1 to dry everything faster and then cut the leather to the thickness or depth that I needed. Last thing I needed to do was add a few final touches, only because of the amount of time and effort that I already spent. Between designing, prototyping, and making the final product, I was at around 20 or 30 hours into this project, so I couldn't justify an ugly white cable coming out of this classy premium charger. So I did something I wouldn't have if it was just 3D printed, and I dyed the cable charger black. This took an extra hour or so, but for something so premium, I needed everything to feel cohesive. If I went with the printed version, I'm not sure I would have spent the extra hours on those details, because why spend more time on the details than the actual item itself? Now it's time to put it together, and that was as easy as adding some glue and just putting everything in place, and there we go. This is the final result. I'm really proud of this for a unique reason. Not because I think it looks cool. It does, but it's because this is a representation of my entire maker skill set, even if it's at a small level. Is it perfect? No. The brass isn't perfect, and maybe I could have sanded the wood even more in some places, but before this, I was a 3D printing hobbyist who made things, and now I'm a maker who happens to have a 3D printer as one of my tools. Another thing I took away from this is that even with a new tool and more capabilities, I still will 3D print most fixes, because let's face it, most things can be done with a 3D printer really well. But now I know if 3D printing doesn't cut it, I won't be forced to just make it work, but I can use maybe a better tool for that job to get what I need made. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video, and I'll catch you next time.